So, hello students. So, the next topic to discuss in linear amplitude modulation is about the single sideband suppressed carrier. Now, when we had studied about the limitations of the amplitude modulation, what we saw that the amplitude modulation is wasteful of bandwidth. Suppose, let's say this is, or let's take the case of double sideband suppressed carrier signal. If let's say M is our baseband signal or the message signal, and let's say FC is the carrier signal, then we know that the DSP-SC signal is represented as so this is the case of DSP-SC signal. Now we know that two sidebands are present in the DSP signal, or if we take the case of amplitude modulation signal. This is the upper sideband, and then we have the lower sideband. But the drawback in case of amplitude modulation and as well as the DSP-SC modulation is that it carries a total bandwidth of 2 times of FM, which is again a wasteful of the bandwidth requirement, because since we know that both LSP, the lower sideband as well as the upper sideband are symmetrically related to each other. That means if we know one of the sidebands, then we can also generate the other. We don't need to transfer both the sidebands. This limitation is overcome with the help of single sideband suppressed carrier generation. Now this signal is the case of double sideband DSP-SP. Both the sidebands are carried away with the carrier wave, but in case of single sideband suppressed carrier, only one of the sidebands is transmitted from one point to another. So these are two sidebands, LSP and USP. But in case of the single sideband suppressed carrier, either of the sidebands is transmitted. Either you transmit so either you transmit the upper sideband, this is the upper sideband. In that case, the SSB, that is the single sideband suppressed carrier, will be known as upper sideband suppressed carrier. In this case also, the carrier is suppressed, just like the case of DSP-SC signal. Or suppose we are interested to transmit the lower sideband, then this signal will be called the lower sideband suppressed carrier. And we will transmit the lower sideband. That means either of the sidebands are being transmitted with the help of single sideband suppressed carrier signal. Now the benefit of using the SSP signals is that the bandwidth requirement becomes half compared to the amplitude modulated signal and the DSP-SC signal. Now the bandwidth becomes just half. Now you see the bandwidth in case of AM signal is 2 times of FM. In case of DSP-SC is also 2 times of FM, but in case of single sideband suppressed carrier signal, either LSP or the USP, it will be just FM. That means there is bandwidth conservation. In case of SSB-SC. Now suppose, let's say let us write the equation for DSP-SC signal, which is given by AC into MT cos 2 pi FCT, where all the symbols are standard quantities, where MT, let's write where MT is the baseband or the message signal, low frequency message signal, and the CT is the carrier signal used to generate the DSP-SC signal, which is given by AC into cos 2 pi FC into T, right? Now let's talk about single tone DSP-SC. That means the message signal containing only one frequency. Let's say it is given by am times of cos 2 pi fc into t. Sorry, fm into t. This is the equation for the message signal. Then we can write the DSP SC signal as AC times of AM cos 2 pi FM into T into cos 2 pi FC into T. So resolving this equation, we can write AC times of AM by 2 cos 2 pi FM plus FC, or better write in a more standard form, FC plus FM into T plus AC into AM by 2 into cos 2 pi FC minus FM into T. This is the equation. Now, as you know, the Fourier transform for the upper sideband component, it will be AC into the Fourier transform will be simply AC into AM by 4 pi times of, not pi, simply F plus FC plus FM plus del F minus FC plus FM. And similarly for the lower sideband LSB component, it will be Fourier transform in terms of frequency. So on representing the same on the frequency domain, then the DSP-SC signal will be represented as, it has got 4 components. The upper sideband, as well as the lower sideband. Sorry. The upper sideband components as well as the lower sideband components. It will be written as plotted as in terms of delta function. FC, this is FC plus FM, this is FC minus FM. Similarly, for minus FC plus FM is minus FC minus FM. We can see these these two components are the upper sideband components, and similarly these two are the lower sideband components. Then we can say that this SSBS DSPSC signal has got two components. One is the lower sideband, one is the upper sideband. Now with the help of SSB, that is the single sideband suppressed carrier signal, with the help of that we will be able to transfer one of the sidebands only, either the upper sideband or the lower sideband, because both are related to each other symmetrically. So it doesn't matter, either you transmit the upper sideband or the lower sideband. So once again writing STDSBSC, and its here its magnitude will be AC times of AM by 4. Once again writing the time domain equation as AC times of AM by 2 cos 2 pi FC plus FM into T plus AC times of AM by 2 cos 2 pi FC minus FM times of T. Again inside the bracket. Now this component is the upper sideband, and this component is the lower sideband. So we can represent the SSB's suppressed carrier generation. If it contains the lower sideband, let's say, or upper sideband, it will be called upper sideband suppressed carrier. Will be given as AC into AM by 2 into cos 2 pi FC plus FM times of T. And similarly, the lower sideband suppressed carrier FC minus FM times of T. These are the equations. So we can transmit either of the signals. So continuing with the mathematical analysis of SSBSC signals. Then let's say USB SC signal given by resolving this equation, can write AC times of AM by 2 cos 2 pi fc into t into cos 2 pi fm multiplied by t, then minus sine and AC into AM by 2. Resolving this equation, sine 2 pi fc into t into cos, sine 2 pi fm into t. So this is the equation for the upper sideband suppressed carrier. Similarly, if we write the same for the lower sideband suppressed carrier, so its equation is AC times of AM by 2 into cos 2 pi fc minus fm into t. Resolving this equation, we can write AC times of AM by 2 cos 2 pi fc into t multiplied by cos 2 pi fm into t plus AC into AM by 2 sine 2 pi fc into t multiplied by sine 2 pi fm into t. The only difference between the LSB and the USB equations is that is the sign. For LSB the sign is minus, for USB the sign is minus, and for LSB it is a plus sign. Overall we can write when represent ST single sideband suppressed carrier as AC into AM by 2 cos 2 pi fc into t cos 2 pi fm into t minus plus AC into AM by 2 sine 2 pi fc into t into sine 2 pi fm into t. This is a general equation for the single sideband suppressed carrier signal, where the negative sign represents the upper sideband suppressed carrier and the positive sign is for the lower sideband suppressed carrier. Right? Now rewriting this equation, ST as AC by 2 cos 2 pi fc into t multiplied by AM into cos 2 pi fm into t minus plus AC by 2 sine 2 pi fc into t into sine 2 pi fm multiplied by t am. Now looking at this equation, we know that this is our message signal MT, right? This is message signal, and if you look at this signal, so this is am cos 2 pi fmt, this is the phase shifted component, not the component. This signal is the phase shifted version of MT. Phase shifted by pi by 2. So let us represent the signal m hat t as the phase shifted version. Then rewriting this equation, let us write here as dsbsc. So once again rewrite this equation, it will be AC time AC by 2 cos 2 pi x into t mt minus plus AC by 2 sin 2 pi x into t multiplied by the phase shifted version, the pi by 2 phase shifted version of mt, the m hat t. That means mt when phase shifted by let's say minus 90 or plus 90 degree, we obtain a transformed version of mt which is called m hat t, and this particular phase shifted version of mt is called the Hilbert transform of mt. Just like we have got Fourier transform, Laplace transform, this is called the Hilbert transform of mt. The only difference is that for Fourier transform, the time domain is transformed into the frequency domain. But in case of Hilbert transform, the time domain is transformed into time domain only, but with a phase shift of pi by 2. In general, for any signal mt, let's say we have any signal mt, so it's, let's say ht as the Hilbert transform. Let's say ht is called the Hilbert transform, and for any signal mt, its Hilbert transform is given by m hat t, which is equal to the convolution of mt with a signal 1 upon pi t. How do we represent this signal graphically? This is the signal. Then graphically this signal can be represented as right. This is 1 upon pi t. Now, how it is? The Hilbert transform is represented in terms of frequency domain or the Fourier transform. Now, let's see. Suppose we know that for a sine function sin t, its Fourier transform is given by 2 upon j omega. Now, using the property of duality, for of Fourier transform, we know that omega and t are interchangeable. Then let's say by putting omega is equal to t, we obtain a signal 2 upon jt. Then for this signal, its Fourier transform is given by just by putting t is equal to minus omega 2 pi times of sine minus omega. This is how we obtain the Fourier transform of certain signals using the principle of duality. Because omega and t are interchangeable. Please refer to the lecture on signals and systems for the same. But what we need, we have to obtain we require this signal. This is 1 upon, now once again writing here, then 2 upon jt is given by the Fourier transform as 2 pi times of SGN minus omega. Now multiplying both sides up by j by pi, we obtain 1 upon pi t signal whose Fourier transform is given as simply j times of, and this minus will come out, minus j times sin omega, and in terms of frequency hertz, this is radian per second. In terms, writing in terms of hertz, we can write its Fourier transform as minus j SGN f. So this is the Fourier transform of the signal. So now therefore MT M hat T, which is the Hilbert transform of MT, which is given by the convolution of, this is given by the convolution MT convolved to 1 by pi t. So if you want to represent in terms of frequency domain, we can write MF will be given by MF. In terms of frequency domain, the convolution in time domain becomes multiplication in frequency domain. It will be given by, and in frequency domain, 1 by pi t will be written as minus j times of sine of f. That means the Fourier transform of the message signal is multiplied with the Fourier transform of 1 upon pi t. So if you look at the graph of the signal, now for sin f, its graph is given by, this is the graph of sin f, but what we want is minus j times of sin f. Doing the transformation, multiplying with minus j, we will obtain the graph as plus j, this will be minus j. So this is the graph for minus j times of sine of f. Now what we have to do is we have to multiply mf, the Fourier transform of the message signal, with the minus j sine of f. Now before that, let's see the property of this function. Or in general we can say that for any signal mt, if its Hilbert transform is m hat t, then for this signal in frequency domain, if this signal is simply the message signal multiplied by, not the message signal, the message signal in frequency domain multiplied by minus j times of sin f. Now what is this particular function doing is, again if you look at this graph, minus j sin f, it is plus j, this is minus j. If you look at this graph, what is this graph doing? Suppose what is this graph doing? This graph, this term is minus j, that means minus 90 degree, e to the power j minus pi by 2, right? So we can write for negative value of frequency, if we see the negative values of the frequency, it is giving a phase shift of plus pi by 2, plus 90 degree. It gives a phase shift by plus pi by 2 when the frequency is negative. Also, for frequency for f greater than 0, this side of the axis, horizontal axis, the phase shift is minus pi by 2. The phase shift is minus pi by 2 for f greater than 0, and it will be 0 for f equal to 0 according to the definition of sine function. Its value is 0 at origin. F equal to 0 means the DC component. The DC component is for the f equal to 0 only. That means it discards because its value is 0. That means it discards DC component present in the message signal MT. And for rest, for f less than 0, it shifts the message signal by plus pi by 2. For f greater than 0, minus pi by 2. So once again writing, let's say this is our low frequency message signal. This is plus FM, this is minus FM, and its corresponding Hilbert transform is given by MF multiplied by minus J sin F, right? And minus J sin F is given by this equation plus J minus J 0 minus J sin F. All you have to do is you have to simply multiply this both signals. And let's say then multiply, take the product of the signal, what we obtain. We obtain the graph for the Hilbert transform of the message signal in frequency domain. And let's say this is M0, so this will be M0 and this will be minus M0 with a phase shift of plus J for f less than 0 and